Hey folks, welcome back to Only the Best Fantasy Novels. My name is Robin, and today I want to talk about Cursor's Fury, the third book in the Codex Alera series by Jim Butcher. And honestly, the first book, it was okay. The second book, I struggled a bit before it finally got going towards the end. This is the book where the series really managed to hook me. Like, this is a book where things just... It, it, it just felt like the series finally blossomed into what it could be. And yeah, what even is Curse's Fury about? So it's been 2 years since the events of Academ's Fury, the second book, and Tavi is now a Cursor who is impersonating a captain in the First Illyrian Legion. And then it's supposed to be just this legion that's almost like an experiment comprised of just random soldiers um, from random political factions, kind of creating a legion that's outside of the political influence of any one particular political force. And then civil war breaks out. High Lord Kalari is finally making his move out in the open blatantly. Um, war is in the offing, and yeah, that's pretty much a book. But then it turns out that Kalari took some steps no one anticipated, and there's a lot more that's going to happen than meets the eye. Like, it's not just Kalari that the Force Sword has to deal with. The Kingdom have also mobilized, and the invasion of Valera has begun. So all in all, it's a pretty action-packed book, basically. Um, Honestly, I think the main reason why this book worked for me more than any of the others is because this is a book where the series really, like, you can feel this is almost the start of the end game. Like, we've gotten the building, the setup and the building out of the way. Um, Jim Butcher now has everyone where he needs them to be, and the story can really kick off. Um, like, in the first book, we got Tavi the farm boy. In the second book, we got Tavi the magical school student, which are two. Let's face it, they're two overdone tropes in fantasy, so they're not super interesting to read about. Even if those books did have their moments, granted, this one he still hasn't quite escaped the whole trope aspect of his personality, but it's a book that's basically set from the get go to be action packed, and that's what carries the story. Like, these books are not. If you're a character driven reader, these are not the books for you. These are like almost like meaty entertainment, and even the meaty part of it is debatable because, like, this is epic fantasy, but it's paced like a thriller. Almost like a thriller in terms of how fast paced and action packed it could be, and that's the highlight of these books. They're just entertainment, and this is the book where, like, things can really go pedal to the metal. It's all war, it's all battle, it's all epic action sequences, heroic moments, these kind of things. So if you're into that aspect of epic fantasy, this is the book where it's really going to click for you. So yeah, that's happening. That's for me. This is why the book, like, finally clicked, because it's pretty much meant to just entertain, and Jim Butcher, Jim Butcher is an author that excels at writing entertaining stories. So in that regard, the book succeeds brilliantly. That's kind of it. Like, what else can I really say about this book? Like, in terms of the characters, like, obviously people are starting to change because, like, we've moved past the whole school setting. They're now in effectively the real world. Tavi is forced to grow beyond what he's been so far because he's impersonating this character, and then when war breaks out, he literally has to live it. It has to stop being an impersonation. He really does have to take charge and perform at his role. So it caused him to develop quite a bit of a character, but it wasn't done in an introspective way, in that it's not like we get a lot of access to his internal monologue and his thoughts and his feelings and these kind of things. Like, we do get some of it, but it's not like a deep character study or anything. It's lean and mean essentially in how it happens. And like I said, the action is the highlight of this book. Like, war breaks out, war on two fronts, and then there's a lot of mystery that kind of goes on in the back, that's kind of going on in the background. Granted, a lot of it you can already smell the direction that it's taken. Some seeds were hinted at in the second book. In this one, they got a little bit more blatant. Like, they're clearly paving the way for the chosen one to be revealed, quote unquote. So, but that's not nothing new about this series. Like, from the very first book, it was obvious that this is a very classic epic fantasy book. A very classic epic fantasy series, in that Jim Butcher doesn't try to break any molds or anything. He works with the tropes of the series. He works with the gotchas and the common plot points and these kind of things. All he really does is write it in a very entertaining fashion, and he slaps on a coat of paint on it to give it a Roman aesthetic. That's pretty much what these books are. So, like, if you're a fan of classic fantasy, or if you're a fan of the whole Roman shtick, this should be right up your alley. But like I said, the highlight of the book, honestly, first and foremost, is the entertainment. There is a lot of political drama going on. There are definitely some moments that are more, where the tension is more like character drama and relationship focused. And when I say relationship, I don't mean like romantic relationship. I mean just the way that the connections between characters and the way that they interact or are forced to interact on the page. And that's honestly it. Like, first and foremost, these books are entertainment. They're practically cheesy entertainment, and I was here for it. Like I said, this is the book that finally hooked me in this series, and like, it paid off for going through the first two books, and I can see things are probably only going to escalate from here, because that's how Jim Butcher writes. Like, he takes threads from the previous books and he just builds on it, and what seems like just a minor event or a minor thread in one of the previous books somehow blossoms to become a major concern as time goes by, and that we saw that trend from the very second book. Nothing changed about that in this book, and I expect it to only continue. So yeah, that's Curse's Fury. We'll see how things keep going, and yeah, if you made it this far into the video, I'll see you next time.